You can talk to anything specific, Falcon. You can just hit me up on Telegram. I'm looking right at my chat. All right, what's
Okay, yeah,
going
yeah.
on? We're
Beautiful
live.
stream, bro. I'm already seeing 9 people in the stream, right? Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's not. Yeah, yeah,
It's 9 people
yeah.
there already. We're already getting some attention. I'm looking a lot of good energy in here.
Yeah, bro. What's going
There's
on?
some beautiful stuff going on. I'm also seeing the market's kind of pump right now, which is
Yeah, yeah. What's
very
going on
nice
in
to
the
see.
market? Let's
Yeah,
see what's
bro, it's
going
it's
on.
just it's the perfect time. People are betting on the market pumping. What more do you want from that? That's
Uh,
how the energy is right now. That's where we're focused.
like
Green
Jerome,
markets.
we were talking earlier in the stream I just had. Jerome Powell is talking in Wyoming tomorrow. He does this like speech, and it's like I don't. I mean, that's supposed to be kind of affecting the markets and stuff. Have you been thinking about that? Like, do you care about stuff like that, or like do you think
Yeah,
that?
so actually I do trade futures a lot more than I trade meme coins, right? So I'm always like checking up on these kind of stuff. And of course you have the rate cuts expectations. I don't know if you heard about that, but man,
Yeah,
look, long story is short, the rate cuts, if they come in, you can expect ETH to hit a new all-time high. And all I'm gonna say is that if you're betting on the right plays early on, if you're just really putting your mind into focus on what you want to be positioned in, there's no way you're gonna come out of this broke. You're gonna be rich. You're gonna fucking make great moves. I mean, it's already in front of you, you know? Like, we have a lot of blue chips, but let's be honest here. Buying a $500 million market cap coin is not the same as getting in something that has the potential to reach there, right? Like, would you rather hit a 2x
Right.
or a 500x? That's not even a question anymore. That's what everyone wants. You feel
Yeah,
me?
that's what I want. Yeah, 500x, definitely. 500x.
Exactly. And again, the bigger picture here is, what are you betting on? Are you betting on narrative? Are you betting on teams? Are you betting on the markets? But again, you don't have to bet on anything. You can just really be sure of what you desire. Like, if you just kind of take a second to think about it, right? What do you have in front of you right now? You've got a lot of good coins. You've got a lot of nice movement in the market. You've got a lot of good positivity surrounding the market. Everyone want to make money, right? And then you have these teams who are using this the wrong way. And that's not a problem because we're not surrounded by those teams. What we have today on our hands is RITA, right? We've got
Right.
RITA. What is RITA, Stayer? What do you think RITA is representing? It's representing a new ecosystem on its own, right?
Yeah.
It's think of it like joining a new Telegram group where everyone has the same goal. I mean, from its name, it's the new world order. What does that mean? It just simply means that we are heading towards a new direction, right? We've had in the past so many cult coins prove this method effective. And in return, everyone who really paid attention made so much money. I mean, get me one person who didn't make money on SPX when they found it early. No one.
Nobody.
I
Nobody.
made good money. I made good money on that, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people did. So the question here is if I'm telling you right now, if there is a chance for you to get the next big thing, whether it's a derivative of the same narrative, whether or not, it is a chance for you. It's like finding gold in a gold mine, you know? Would you tell anyone about it? No. But here we are because we are different, right? We're not focused on the same path where everyone is focused. We're building a community here. We're building sort of a religion, if you want to call it, a cult. That's what I think Rita in the first phase is going to be like.
Wow. Whoa. Hey guys, we're live. We're live with the lead of the RITA CTO Falcon. We are live right now. He's already spitting. He's spitting facts right now. Like we just came on and he's just talking to y'all. He's just like this is crazy. Like Falcon's name just man. Falcon's name is pretty big in the world of crypto right now. And he's decided to CTO this coin RITA, and Um, Great team. Everything's popping off. I wanted to have him on tonight just to kind of chill out and just hang out, kind of just cook up just what we're talking about with the markets overall, with RITA, what RITA means, like, and the SPX 6900 meta and like everything like that. So I mean, so again, really, Falcon, you were saying like RITA has a very, you know, big. It's like a big force about to happen. So it's like people don't understand the SPX 6900 meta is about to absolutely go parabolic in this part of the cycle, right? And RITA is, correct me if I'm wrong, it's one of the biggest NFTs, right, of SPX 6900, right? Am I
Right,
right?
right, 100%.
Right, and actually, you guys actually own. There's a part of your one of your team members purchased the NFT, and now it's shared with the team. There's so that's very bullish because the last time this was CTO'd a couple months ago, you know, you guys, well, it wasn't you, it was somebody else, but um, they didn't have kind of the blessing of SPX 6900 whales, and they didn't have the NFT, and you know, it was kind of like a willy nilly thing. And I was a part of it. I was riding it up. People credit me for sending it to 80 from 80K to 1.1 million just a couple months ago. I mean, I wasn't the lead or anything, but I was the one talking about it. I was bullish, and you know, they ran into those issues where it's like, you guys aren't really official. This isn't an official like CTO, but now you're saying this is a totally official thing, huh?
Yeah, I mean, dude, look, again, let's kind of focus here on the bigger picture, in the grand scheme of things, okay? Rita today, you can grab 1% for $5,000, right? That is like 1.2, 1.3 ETH, okay? That's 1% of Rita right now. And you can get that. Here's the thing, here's the funny part, is that you can really get that right now with a single transaction, right? If you want to look at SPX, 1% is worth $12 million. So kind of put that in perspective. If you even have half a percentage of Rita, and when we go, not if, but when we go to where SPX is at, that is still $6 million, you know? Like, in the grand scheme of things, you are not in a position to say, yeah, well, you know, I'm not really sure. There's nothing that cannot make you more sure than knowing and acknowledging the fact that this is number two on Dex Screener right now, and
Oh
you
wow.
can pretty much own 1% for almost 20th. And when the day comes, not if, again, when the day comes that we are in direct path of SPX, that is worth $6 million. That is worth $12 million. That is worth millions. You know,
Right.
even
Yeah.
0.1% is going to be worth $1 million. So, are you
Yeah.
really going to tell me that you can't take a risk where the risk reward ratio is this high? Like, we're not talking about a 10x, not a 100x. This is not even a 1000x. This is a 10,000x that we're talking about here.
Right. Yeah, yeah. No, I know. I tell people all the time. I'm like, you guys, you like when we're getting in these projects so early. It's like you shouldn't even be in a rush to like, you know, trade this stuff. Just accumulate, you know, and
100%.
because you know what I mean. Because once, especially when retail gets here, you know, in the next couple months, like they're just gonna come buy up all of this shit, and like a coin like Rita, it's gonna be bearish to say that it's not at like that it's not at 50 million or even 100 million, you know what I mean, like because it's directly associated with one of the biggest coins of this cycle, you know, it's in its universe. And yeah, I mean, you know, I just I tell my community that all the time, like, guys, you shouldn't be wasting the opportunity to just accumulate this stuff. You should be buying this stuff almost every day, little by little, or just ape. But like, I mean, where you're at, because it's going to be going up. You know, yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy. but bro, like tell me about like because people don't really know like who you are. Of course, you're not docs, but like when did you like first get into crypto? Like what made you want to get into crypto?
Yeah, man. Honestly, look, I've been in crypto since pretty much like the ETH ICO, right? And I've been
Wow.
around for a very long time where I even had the like chance to buy Bitcoin sub 10K, you know. So you can kind of say that when someone has been around long enough where a lot of things have happened and he's witnessed them, you kind of gain a lot of knowledge and education in this space, right? When meme coins first launched, everyone thought this is just like a bubble or whatever, right? And then next thing you know, Solana comes in, ETH comes in, BNB, even Ton, you know. So I have kind of like went in the path of thinking this is what the people want, right? People don't want the next Bitcoin. People don't want the next Ethereum. People don't want to replace what's already there, but they want to find the next big thing that's going to be in the race with those big things, right?
Right.
That's how the markets are positioned right now. You know, people say, "Oh yeah, but we're never going to get an alt season like 2021 again, blah blah blah, whatever." I mean, sure, look, you might be right, but we have seen meme coin seasons every single week since they have launched. It is always meme coin season, right? It is always there.
Right.
It is always happening. The energy is always there. People want to make money, right? When I'm telling someone, "Hey, bro, look, you can make money here," they're like, "Oh yeah, yeah, sure." They put in like $100. Next thing you know, it's worth 10K. So again, you know, there's a lot of opportunity here for everyone. So when I went into like many projects, like I've CTO'd many projects on ETH, on Solana, on even Ton, you know, and
Han.
what I've
Wow.
always noticed is that
Mhm.
anytime I want to push a project, I'm getting in the right people. And look, I don't want to say too much right now, but the amount of people that we have lined up, and if you're listening to the stream right now, the amount of people that we have lined up is insane. And we are
Wow.
genuinely just giving people a chance to capitalize on this while they can. And trust me, soon they're not going to have the same opportunity to buy in. You know, in business, there is something called opportunity cost, where
Right.
not doing anything is going to cost you a lot of money. That's the same story here. You know, that's the same exact story. You have the chance, you got to take it. You got to have faith in yourself, you know? There's risk reward always. There's risk reward in everything. There's if you want to go to the gym, there's risk reward. You might crash, you might not crash, you might hurt yourself. That's risk reward. But what is the reward? You gain confidence. You gain it's the same thing here, you know? We are trending on
Yeah.
number two on Dex for a reason. That's not some, you know, fantasy that I'm talking. No, it's there. You open up Dex right now, we're number two. And
Yeah. No,
mind
I see
you,
that.
yeah, mind you, right now, where we are heading, not just towards RITA, but overall, we are gonna have some very serious names call us in the next. I don't want to say a couple hours, but it might happen during the stream. It might not happen during the stream. I'm not gonna give you the full insight on this, but I hope you figure out what I'm saying right now because this is some serious sauce right here. You know, you've seen stuff run, Stayer. You know, you've witnessed coins never stop. But this one isn't
Right.
going to be that. It's not going to be that. It's going to be something very different. This is very strategic. This is very aligned in many different ways. You know, we don't have KOLs here. KOLs, sure, they come and go, right? What we have are community leaders where they are pretty much cult leaders, right? Like in Christianity, you have Jesus Christ. You know, people follow him. That's the kind of people that we're bringing in. We're bringing in a lot of Jesuses, as they say.
Wow.
That's the
Yeah.
kind of
No.
because that's how you build Stair. That's how you build this community. You know, you're not
Yeah.
you have a message you want to deliver. You got to collect people and let them deliver that message for you.
Yeah, yeah, I'm telling you. I mean, I'm seeing Rita talked about in a lot of different communities, on Telegram, on X. I mean, I I mean, you're seeing that too. Obviously, you're connecting with them, every single day right now as you guys are just cooking up Rita. And like what's the communities that you're like when you're because that's what you do. Like that's one of your strong points that I understand, Falcon, is that you tap into different communities and you get in there and you galvanize them. You talk to them about the CTOs that you're running, and they love you. And it's like because listen how you're talking to me right now. You have a very very much a leadership quality where when you talk, everybody listens. And I mean, bro, I mean, you're a prodigy in the crypto space. People don't know. I mean, bro. I mean, the way you talk, it's like you've been around for ages, bro. But you're like a Tiger Woods type of prodigy in the space. People don't understand that. You're 22 years old and you're winning Masters tournaments. You know what I mean? Like it's
Right,
like
right, exactly, bro.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Hundred
so people
percent,
don't
hundred percent.
people don't even fucking get it. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing about crypto is like because people don't can't go out and see you go hit a 400-yard drive down the fairway. Like they can't they can't see that in live time, like the wins that you stack up. So that's why I wanted to get you on, because to get this like more real, because it's just like this you being in this CTO and Rita and running it is a big deal in itself. And so what I'm seeing, that's why I bought in at the lows, is because I was hearing rumblings that you were going to be taking this thing over. And I was just like, wow. I mean, in addition to guys that I respect like Roof and others, Geppetto, just big names in the crypto space that have big communities. I was like, oh shit. I mean, I need to go freaking tap into this. I need to go accumulate right now. And I was right, because I was telling my community, yo, we need to get in on Rita again. They're like, Rita? Didn't we just go through that? It went to 1.1, and then it couldn't go any further because the SPX whales weren't signing off on it. They weren't going to call it, and this and this and that. I'm like, yeah, but no, this is different. This is so different. We got a guy that's just tapped in, and I think we should definitely start accumulating again. And this was at like between 80K and 150K. My community, we were started to accumulate. I dropped an inner circle, and now these guys are look at the price right now. It's way higher than that when we first started talking about it, right? And so it's just incredible to see. So we're up like 3 or 4x right now already. And so tell me, Falcon, like what communities is Rita like hitting hard right now in terms of like I'm hearing a lot of things, you know?
Right, right. Man, look, to keep it, very lean with you right now, people join a community because they don't want to just hear, yeah, buy this. That's not what the people want. The people they really want is proper leadership. They want to feel like when they are being told, yes, get in this, they want to know why. They want to know the why. They want to know the when. They want to know the if. They don't want someone who's just going to be, even if you look, and this is the only space in the world, this is the only industry where you can't spoon feed anyone. Because even if you tell someone, look, this is going to 1000x, he's still going to be scared to buy, right? But when you tell
Right,
someone, look, this, I'm not telling you to buy, I'm not just telling you to ape in this, I'm telling you, listen to what I'm going to say. This is A, B, C, D. You give them the thesis, you give them the everything, and then you guide them on a channel, on a path where you're pretty much holding their hands while they're doing what they're doing. When someone reaches out to me and they're like, hey, Falcon, what is this? I don't just say it's the next big thing. I give them the exact reasons on why this is the next big thing. And then it's up to
right,
them to decide whether this is really the next big thing or not. And the bigger picture here again is the fact that they will see that it's the next big thing. Why? Because They see people communicating together on this. They see language being shared. The one thing in common everyone has in this space is language, right? We all
Mhm.
have the same lingo. Everyone uses the word ape. Everyone uses the same jeet. Everyone uses this kind of word. These kind of words, they shape the ecosystem, right?
Right.
When I talk about communities, right, we have a lot of big communities coming in. Without even mentioning names, you can already see some SPX guys getting involved in this. Sure,
Right.
just because they made big on SPX doesn't mean they don't want the next big thing. Everyone wants the next big
Right.
thing. When you buy a Ferrari,
Right.
you want another one. When you buy another one, you want a
Right.
third one. You want a collection, right?
Right.
So nobody is really looking for long-term value in one single thing. They want to build something, but they want to feel a part of something. When you open up the chart on Reader right now, you look at it, it's at 500K. But again, we were just at 900K yesterday. So what does that mean? That means we've given you a chance to get in. The chart is giving you a chance to get in. And it's communicating to you. That is the way a chart talks to someone. It draws it. It's like a canvas. When you see a piece of art, you stare at it, you're like, holy shit, this is like talking to me. you know they see a Van Gogh. What does that
Yeah.
indicate? Oh yeah, it's feelings. I feel like it's telling me I'm on a different path. That's the same thing here. It's Dex chart is a canvas, and the way it's drawn, it is pretty much telling you, look, open up SPX chart, open up whatever derivative you think that this is of, and look at it, and zoom out and put it on scale, and you're gonna see the big picture in here. So community wise, when we have communities like Gem Hunters, when we have communities like without bringing too much names in this, but not KOL led communities, but something for the people, something for where people like me and you, Sarah, we come in crypto, we want to make a change. What do they feel? They feel like they are relating with this. It's cause and effect. There's no protagonist in here. There's no main character syndrome going on. There's just legit community, and there's legit growth, and there's legit everything. So it's really important that the people realize what we're doing here. When I say we're on a mission, I'm not talking about pumping a coin. I'm talking about what SPX is doing times 10. We don't
Yeah.
need a Murad. We don't need a whatever. What we really, really need is everyone to believe that this is happening. It's not if it's gonna this is happening, you know?
Right. Yeah, because bro, I mean, a lot of analysts are saying that SBX is going to 10x from here, like from $1.5 billion market cap, but it's going to go to $15 billion market cap. Like, are you saying that, like how can you like deny that Rita is going to be well within like over 100 million because it's a part of that space, it's a part of that narrative. You know what I mean? If SPX is at 15 billion, I mean, it's not asking much for a coin like Rita to be within, you know, a 1% or, 1% is 150 million, right? I mean,
Right, right, yeah.
you know what I mean? So it's like, you know what I mean? It's just like, uh,
Well, let me look. Let me answer your question exactly how you're asking it, right? When SPX launched, right? It launched on August 18, 2023, right? It stayed under a million for sorry, stayed on 10 million for pretty much almost a year, more than a year.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then suddenly it goes to 24 million, and then it goes to 50, 70, 30. And I'm talking at the same stage where Rita is positioned at right now. So when you look at this, you zoom out on the chart, you put it the same way.
yeah,
Rita is still a very, very, very small fraction of that, you know.
right.
And when you have, let's say, one ETH right now, putting that on this scale, you're making an impact on your own life, you know. When one day, when this reaches 10 million, you have already more than 10x your money. You know, you want to play
Mhm.
it safe, you can pull out your initials. I'm not about the kind of person to say, put your life savings in this, but I'm the kind of person to tell you, are you really in a position to reject money?
Right.
Is this what you really wanted? You're always complaining about, oh, I don't have enough money. I'm seeing all these KOLs drive Lambos and shit. Well, when really the time came to have your chance to be like that, you're saying, "Yeah, I'm scared." What do you want, What do you want exactly? Because we're giving you right now today, not just alpha, we're giving you there are a lot of good coins on ETH. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good stuff over there. But it's always nice to feel like you're part of something very big. It's always nice to feel like you're part of something that really is not just up and coming. It's already there. ETH is pumping. And the funny part about all of this is that RITA is not even at all-time high yet. All-time high is at 1.8.
Right.
We're at 550K.
1.7. Yeah. Yeah. 1.7. So you're like 3x, a little over 3x off of the all time high, the original all time high. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. The
exactly.
CTO all time high is 1.1. Yep.
So in this matter, if you don't want the big win, you're rejecting money, you're allergic to money. Fine, so be it. That's on you. It's not on me.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, I know what I'm doing, and I know that I'm here, positioned in this. And I'm gonna keep getting positioned every single day until this reaches 100 million. Because by that time, I would have outworked everyone in this space. So you don't want the big money? Sure,
Right.
fine. But it's not even all time high yet. And it's 3x, 3.5x to all time high, and you're still scared? I mean, come on. You know, Cry me a river, but you're choosing fucking failure at this point. Like, you are deliberately just choosing not to make money. So,
right.
so what do you do in this case?
And another thing people forget, smash the likes, guys. Hey, I'm on with the lead of the CTO, Rita, of the Rita CTO. I'm on right now with Falcon. This guy is an absolute prodigy. He's made millions in this space. In SPX 6900, he's made a bunch of money. He's done a lot of projects that have been very successful in this space, and he is taking the helm of the CTO of Rita, and we're on talking to him right now. He's sharing his thoughts with us. And this is like a different speed than yesterday. We were on with the Tylenol GM coin on Solana, Grant, and he's like a really just a happy guy to go, bro. This like who we're talking to right now. He's just like, all right, here's what's going on right now. You know what I mean? Like, there's a different speed, and I love this. Like, shout out to Grant, but like, bro, this is like, this is a beautiful mind type of Russell Crowe type of talking we're hearing right now. I want to ask you something. You know, Rita is not just like a meme coin, a was it an NFT? It's not just that, right? It's also an AI agent. People forget that. Like, Rita is an AI agent, and actually the team is working on revitalizing the AI agent side of this. And now I know there's so much going on. The team is quite big. So I'm not trying to put you on the spot. If I know a gentleman in the group who is also a part of my community, because the CTO is like, okay, CTOs are like, okay, who can step up and get things done? Our dog in here, Shalonius, he also goes by Zukas. I don't know if he's in here, but he has taken the liberty of working on the AI agent side of Rita. And what he was sharing with me today, it was so bullish, man. Like he's having See, I'm an absolute meathead in the space. Like I'm not good with the technology side of it. But you heard of PAL, PAAL, PAL?
Of course,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, so he's working with PAL to revitalize the whole AI agent of RITA, and it's looking incredible. I'm in the group with them, watching them build this, and it's incredible to see because I mean I'm as a kind of a media personality. I get access to all these things going on, and then Zukas has been with me. He's been watching me on this channel since near the beginning of my channel. So he's a smart guy, and he loves Rita, man. He loves Rita. And not only did he buy in early, but he was like, you know what? I'm going to take the liberty of just making the AI agent better. And so that's like another thing that is so bullish about Rita is that it could be one of the leading AI agents of this cycle. You know what I mean? Like it's you know what I'm saying? Like that's a whole nother narrative that Rita could be leading. And so did you? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man, look, this just adds to the storyline, you know. This just adds a lot to the, let's just call it lore, you know. You want to think of it as in what was the history that we are working with here? You know, what is it that we are proposing in terms of value? What is the value proposition here? And I can put it in two different ways. I can tell you, look, it's either you want to focus on the AI agent side of things, you know, from the APIs that are going into this, from the tech side of things. We have seen this happen countless times on ETH, Solana, even on BNB, you know. We've How many times have we seen people say this is the next AI thing and then it just flops, right? Have you ever
Yeah.
really thought about the reason of that? You haven't. And even if you have it all wrong. The real reason projects flop and they fall apart is because people don't do the due diligence on really exploring what this really is. You know, one of my CTOs was Project 89. We took it from 26K to 100 million market cap on Solana. And
Whoa.
the only thing that we really did, the only thing that we did, and I still have, you know, funny part is that in my group, I have the Rick notification that if you paste the CA, it does show that I called it at 26K. So I have proof to show you that this is playbook. You know, this is textbook methods. This is not something that is coming out of Mars. You know, if you want Elon Musk's
Wow.
attention, what do? You go and get it, right? But what we're
Right.
after here today is, I'm gonna put it in one simple sentence. It's a new world order, pretty much. You know, this is what Rita is about. It's in the name, it's in the banner, it's in everything. When you type Rita on Dex, you see the name Rita, New World Order. That's it.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Wow. What was that coin called again? 89 pan 80 what?
No, it's
The
Project 89. You can pull up the chart,
Project
you can see
89.
it. Zoom
Wow.
out a little bit, and you're gonna see the bigger picture again. People just fail to see the bigger picture, and why that is very simple. You know, I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Not everyone has, let's just put it this way, not everyone has the courage to make money. People might be happy with their $100 gains, and there's no shame in that. Good for you. You know, I'm happy for you. But again, $100 is a lot less than $100,000. Let's just put it this way.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, over 100 million just in November. Just this past November. Wow. Yeah, so you've done this before. Um and this is wow, that's really cool. Um so what so what's next for Rita? You know, like well, man, we're seeing that just with you taking over and your team taking over this coin in the last 3 days. You know, like let's see here. Yeah, since August 13th. So it's been literally maybe 10 days, and you guys have already like 3 or 4x this coin. You've revamped the AI agent. You have brought in folks that from many different communities, community leaders that are coming in, um, and they're putting in their 2 cents. Their communities are buying in. Um, you also have rumored major calls, major recognition, um, from folks in this space that really carry a lot of weight when they recognize a coin. And I mean, what do you see? What do you see with Rita in, say, the next 2 weeks? Like next 2 weeks, give us what you think what you expect to see.
Yeah. So look, forget the 2 weeks. Let's talk about the next 24 hours, right?
Okay.
The next 24 hours are going to be very
Yeah.
definitive for Rita. Now, in what way is what define definitive, right? Definitive means that it's going to decide the future of the coin, you know. And I'm not in no way am I saying you will never be able to get in Rita after the next 24 hours. You could. You're just not going to have as much of it as you could have had now, you know? And why that is, let me give you the reason to that. Let me just not be all talk. But since we took over, this has 5x, you know? And for that specific reason, when we say we have 5x, what does that mean? That means there's been an impact driven by commitment and work. Now, this work in the next 24 hours is going to be very different. It's not, this is not in the warm up phase anymore. Right now, we're shifting from the warm up phase to the real effort, to the real hard work. You know, we've given everyone a chance to really come in and explore. And now it is time to really show them what this is about. You know, when you want to put something out there, what do? You do marketing campaigns, you let people try it, you let people get involved, you involve the audience in this, and that's how it works, you know. But what we have today is big names in this space coming in. We have big communities coming in. And to even be more technical, we're going to have some big wallets come in just to prove to you and to prove to everyone that this is happening, whether you like it or not. You know, whether the
Yeah.
markets dip or they pump, this is here
Yeah.
to stay. This is here to grow. You know, SPX kept pumping in a red market. Did anyone give a fuck? No. Who lost? The people who kept holding their Ethereum and it kept going down while SPX was going up. Same story here. ETH is at 4.3K right now. We are almost 18% from all time high. Now, do you want to take the bet of making 18% gains on your ETH? Or do you want to take the bet of making 100% gains in the next 24 hours? We were just at 800, 900K 24 hours ago, which is, let's just call it 40% from here. So do you want to really, sorry, 50%. So do you really want to make 50% or you want to make 1% or even possibly lose 1%? So the next 24 hours, let's talk about that. Let's really focus on this. We're going to have massive community outreach. We're going to have a lot of wallets come in. And then over the weekend, we're going to show how this works. And the next week and the next 2 weeks, that's where Rita is going to be way beyond all time high. You know, in the next 2 weeks, if you see Rita at 4.55 million, that is really just a very small stepping stone for this.
It's
You know, we haven't
undervalued,
really
is what you're saying.
discussed,
Yeah, it's already undervalued. It's still undervalued at that point, right? Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you know, to even put a bigger picture here, we haven't really discussed exchanges yet. You know, what
Right. We
happens
have.
when
Yeah.
Rita
No.
is
Yeah. We haven't.
exposed?
Right. Right. It changes.
What
Right.
happens when Rita is exposed to these exchanges? When it's exposed to people who are not really active on decentralized exchanges like Dex and Uniswap and whatever, you know? What happens then is you are unlocking a new demographic of audience, of buyers, a new market. That's just called market expansion, you know? The grand scheme of things is market expansion for Rita. And when we talk about listings, again, that is just a very small stepping stone. So
Right.
people are going to ask, okay, shit, then what the fuck is the big picture then? What is the end goal here? To answer this question, there is no end goal here. I mean, if you want to set an end goal, then that means you're setting a ceiling. And in no way do we have that here today. What we have today here is pretty much something different, you know? What we have here is something that's gonna externally display power, characterization, and community. You know, exchanges are just another stepping stone. The next week is another stepping stone. We're gonna keep growing, you know. One day, you never know what happens, but growth is not limited. You know, Rita might get an application on the App Store. Rita might get a rebranding. Rita. Everything is about this specific name. You know, what we want to reach is a level where when you type in Rita on Google, all you see is this. You don't see anything else. The people who missed on SPX, that's okay. That's fine. 99% of the people missed on an SPX. 99%. So be a part of the 1% this time. Don't be the part of the 99% who miss out again. That's just pointless. That's just money allergy, you know? Like, I mean, Stare, come on. You want to look at things. How many coins have you been involved in where it had the same energy as now? You know, that's not something that you just stumble upon. That's something that's the energy that you have desired all this time. You are attracting it, and now it's here. And you cannot reject it at this point.
Right. Yeah, I know. I know. I started this channel and I was just like, I just want to have a channel where I'm, kind of documenting my journey in crypto and just I'm talking about coins that I like, coins that I'm invested in, and I've really over time have developed a strategy of not following the herd, but instead taking my time and investing in teams, investing in people that are behind these meme coins. And what I found is that my risk has gone way down, my reward has gone way up. You know what I mean? Because it's all about who's behind the curtain of these coins. It's not about what market cap is at right now, or what's the circulating supply, what's the market cap, what narrative. Okay, cool, I'm in. Like no, man. It's like who's behind these coins? What's their track record? What are they bringing to crypto? And what who are they surrounding themselves with? And what I see with this coin, Rita, is, again, the team is solid, the leadership is sound, and, like where you're positioning yourself, Falcon, in the space is you are becoming more and more a leader in this space and surrounding yourself with very successful people, and I want to. I mean, we're buying into that because it's a winning strategy. It's a winning strategy. There's winners don't just win once. There's serial winners. And you just said you just did Project 89 back in. I just looked at the chart. Project 89 like literally went from like a million, maybe a couple million to over 100 million in the span of a month or two. As I'm looking at it between October, guys, go look at that chart. Project 89. Falcon led that team, and I mean, it's just an insane chart. And so, it just that's what I'm talking about, man. I mean, put your money where the team is solid, and those things are popping off like they should, right? So,
Right,
I mean,
right. That's 100% what this is. You know, Stair, look, you made a very good point. If you win once, you're lucky. But if you're winning countless times, then it's skill at this point. You know, Product 89 was one of the many CTOs that I've done. You know, we have during the AI period, we went really, and I really capitalized on the opportunity to kind of go on a serial run where I don't just pump coins, but I really teach people how to spot them at the same time. You know,
Right. Like, just cut out a little bit. Was that me? Falcon, you cut out a little bit.
yeah, sorry. I was just saying that
Okay,
I'm
there you
looking at the
go.
chart here who
Uh-huh.
bought 1.4K. You know, what do I determine from this individual? That individual is seeing the vision, right? Beyond words. You know, at some point in life, when someone walks in a room, you know they mean business. And that's what Rita is gonna be like in the next couple days. You know, we don't just plan to launch the classic marketing campaigns and the boring stuff and the blah 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 whatever. That is just gonna reach, that's just a limitation, you know, that's just a constraint. But what I do here today and what I plan to do in the next few days is gonna be something of, let's just call it something of a revolution, you know, because people are saying, "Oh yeah, the cycle is gonna end soon. The cycle is gonna end soon." Blah 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 blah. Whatever. Markets are good, and the next day they're bad, and then people are selling, people are buying, but nothing on an exchange is gonna pump 100% overnight, and then the next day is gonna pump another 20%, then 30%, and then 100%, and 200, and then 1,000%. You don't get those results by going with the herd. You know, you got to go against the norms. You got to go against society norms. You got to go against the market norms. You have to take the risk where you go ahead and call your friend up and hit him up. That is your duty. You know, your duty as a friend, as a family member, as whatever, is to look out for other people. And in this term, what you should do is you should tell your friends, yes, bro, I found this. Do your own research. I always say this, do your own research and then just leave it there. And they're going to come in and say, yeah, bro, I love this. You're right. I like this. Okay. Do you buy? Yes, bro, I bought. Okay, boom. That is your duty as a friend. That is your duty as a community member, is to put the word out there. Because what we do is we are just putting the work behind the scenes, the technical stuff, the foundational stuff. We are paying for marketing. We are moving the chart in the right direction. So there needs to be effort from the community members as a duty for them, even as a friend, as a brother, as a mother, as a father, as a son, to say, hey guys, look, you know, we have this happening today. And this is, as my duty, I gotta share this with you guys. Because if you find gold in a gold mine, sure you're gonna gatekeep, but if you got your best friend, you're gonna be like, hey bro, look, I found the next big thing for us. Let's go make some money. It's the same story here.
Right,
You know, it's the
right.
same
Yeah,
exact story.
exactly. Hey, yes, yes, and Steve, can you put the contract address for Rita in the chat right now? Guys, you can get Rita right now on Uniswap and Phantom, and it's an ETH coin, and it is set to explode, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. There's some big things in the works, and I had to get Falcon on before they happened. One, because I want to look good. Because I want you guys to say, I want you
For
guys to
sure, for
say,
sure.
you know what I mean? I definitely want to, raise the profile of this channel, by having him on before it happens. But guys, I mean, the volume is rising on Rita. The liquidity, the market cap, everything is just has this just really nice up and to the right slope. It's crazy, and excuse me, I think it's set to absolutely explode. And you guys know that there is a certain intuition that I have when it comes to meme coins that I'm excited about and that I bought into, and it's like you see it, you guys always see it. It's like this. It's like, oh, here we go. It's like this brewing thing where it's like it becomes inevitable, and we had just talked about Dr. Mutant, and we were like, within 48 hours, it went from 29K to 2.5 million. And, that was just a couple days ago. And now we're looking at Rita, and Rita is absolutely bubbling right now. It is absolutely bubbling in terms of this chart. And I'm not a chart boy by any means. I'm more of like a psychological, analyst of crypto, psychological macro view, cycle view type of guy, social view type of guy. But I mean, you cannot deny what this chart looks like right now. I have the green screen on. Let me see here. One second. I'm going to take off this green screen to nothing so you guys can see. Whoa, look at it. So you guys can see that chart right there. I mean, look at this chart. I mean, it's just about to
Right,
freaking
exactly, bro.
explode on the
That's
on
what we're
the on the
saying
one
here,
hour.
sir.
Look at this
Like if you want
thing.
to look at this chart, like a good example is what I mentioned earlier is when you look at a painting in a museum, right? You look at it for a minute or two, and then you jump into conclusions. You're like, oh shit, this is communicating to me. Same story here. I even see Doc Holly in the chat here, one of the great people in this space, who also played a great fucking effort running projects and shit. And he also says the same thing, and everyone says the same thing. A chart is a canvas. We put in the effort, and we are very undervalued people. When we say
Crazy.
yes, this is gonna happen, but just you have to just believe in the leadership behind this. You don't have to. I'm not saying donate money. I'm not saying do this, do that. I'm just saying, as your duty in this coin, as your duty in whatever, you gotta have the affection towards other people to tell them, yes, you need to come in this, bro. I found the next big thing. It's like when you find a cure to a disease, you don't gatekeep that shit. Well, I don't want to get too much into that, but you don't gatekeep that shit so much. You tell people about it. You want to help. You want to. That's evolution. We went from fucking discovering fire to making internet money, and that's your fucking chance today. We have 35 people in the stream. At the peak, it was 50, and I can bet you that a minimum of 20% of those guys are gonna go to bed today and think, "Holy fuck, is this really happening? Like, should I just like fucking I don't know, like sell my wife and kids? Should I just fucking I don't know, like
Yeah.
should I just run away and just ape everything?"
Right.
And again,
Seriously. That's how I'm laughing because that's how crypto is, man. It gets to be like, okay, yeah, dude, I'm gonna start DCing in, and then the chart just starts going wild, and it's just like, bro, should I just freaking like mortgage my house right now? Should I
yeah,
just like
yeah, yeah,
put out a second
yeah,
mortgage?
exactly,
Like,
bro.
like people get like, it's crazy. In my communities, like people just go nuts once they see like a chart speak to them and see things starting to go nuts and see, okay, wait a minute, this team really is who they say they are. It's like they're just like, oh, they just like throw all their money at it. And that's when things go parabolic, right?
Right, right. And look, let's talk about the more serious stuff here for a second, okay? Let's really, really, really talk about how charts move, okay? Because people really sleep on this. They just think buy equal up, sell equal down, and that's not the full picture here. You know,
Right.
that is not really the full picture. You have this all wrong if you think about it this way. When someone buys into a chart, that is one you holder. That is one person who owns a piece of this pie now. Sure. And when they sell, they do own a piece of that pie, just less. So, how do we really calculate and measure growth? By community, by engagement, by content, by media, by catalysts, by the back end involvement and systems and strategy that are being involved in this. You know,
Yes. Sorry, my chat is trolling me right now, man. They're like,
yeah, I can see that.
you see that? Like, these guys are hilarious. You got to say shout out to some of these guys. Zaddy's
100%, bro.
Zaddy's in the house. The guy Murder 82616. He's from Roxbury Crossing in Boston. I used to live in Boston. I got married in Boston, and he's been watching me for months. And he's hilarious. He says, "Yeah, maybe sell my neighbor's dog." And like he's just,
Yeah.
and then people,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, and like and then like Steve O is one of my mods. He's saying he sees Zaddy. He's like, oh, Chris Hansen is entering the chat. You know, Chris Hansen from To Catch a Predator.
Yeah,
He said,
100%. I also
yeah,
look Doc Holly saying find the nearest
because
catalytic in converter and say it by RITA, and that's true. Again,
it's
you see,
true.
that's what I mean, Stair. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
That's what moves a chart. It's the
yeah. So
language
moves
that
the
you
chart, man.
communicate with others in
Yeah,
presence of this chart. I mean, I've done 100 spaces. Even Doc Holly is one of the closest people to me, and he can vouch for this. I've done hundreds of spaces. I've spoken in front of thousands of people. I've done on-stage appearances in my real life work. And when you have leadership, it's a responsibility. That means you are responsible for every single holder in this play, in this chat, in this stage. People are not just listening, they're hearing you. You can listen all day long, but are you really hearing what the person is saying? Can you really hear the music that's being, you know, played out right now? Can you really hear the words that I'm saying right now? And what I'm saying right now is that you should not just settle down for the minimum. You should go for the maximum effort. You should go for the maximum bound of things. The upper ceiling here stair that we have today, what we're doing is just the start. When we launch really the X campaigns and how we interact with the community, that's something else. When we launch the Telegram AMAs, that's something else. You know,
yeah. No, definitely. Those are going to hit hard, and the spaces too, and yeah. So sorry, continue because there's some other things you guys are doing.
yeah, and you see, here's the funniest part about all of this is that when I came in today, I had one goal and one goal only, which was have a voice to Rita. People look at the chart, they just see silence. They just see numbers and statistics and really difficult technological stuff going on. They don't really understand what defines a candle. And you can do whatever you want, but at the end of the day, you have a decision to make, which is you have a wallet, you have some money in it, you have the decision, the due diligence that you gotta make on your own. And you being here today, listening to this stream, that is due diligence, And when you
I'm
are,
I'm
yeah,
seriously
go
thinking
ahead.
about I'm seriously thinking about putting murder. His name's Zaddy, but murder 82616 on timeout. He's making me laugh too hard, bro. This guy. He's saying I'm gonna start selling empanadas. Like everyone's, I don't know, man. These guys, it's just a ragtag group in here. You'll have to excuse me, Falcon. These
I
guys
mean,
are not.
look, Stair,
These
that is what
guys,
we need, though. That is what we
yeah, I
want.
know. It's just
And
these
look,
guys are
here's
so
here's
degen. They're so
that's
degen.
it.
They love Rita. Every single guy in here and girl in here right now is either holding or about to buy, and it's just like it's just insane. I'm just yeah. It's that's what it's all about, though. It's like it's about community. It's about just the intensity of having a coin to just absolutely send in this market, bro. I gotta ask you what because I ask everybody on when I interview them, like, what do you think about this cycle? Because usually, my community, we talk about this all the time because it's an ever changing thing. Like in terms of our opinions and our thoughts on the market, like we're in a bull run, right? And what where do you see Bitcoin topping at and Ethereum like topping at and like when this cycle is going to end? Because I even heard Arthur Hayes on if you know Arthur Hayes on Crypto Banner this morning. Uh, and by the way, he's a reason why one of the reasons why I'm going to check out Argentina because he stays out there half the year and he talks about it a lot. And He's a big proponent of Aptos and also EtherFi. And I have an EtherFi card, and it's a great card if you want to use USDC for regular purchases, like a debit card. It's amazing. I highly recommend it. But he was saying that he was thinking that Bitcoin was going to top like maybe like January and stuff, but he says it might be like he doesn't believe in the 4-year cycle. He's saying that Bitcoin's just going to probably keep like Bitcoin's going to keep going, and Ethereum is just going to keep kind of going and having small dips and just gains forward through to like 2028. I couldn't believe he said that today. So it's like I'm hearing people's
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
I'm hearing people's opinions change. You know what I mean? So like I'm really interested to know what you think about that. Like,
Yeah,
what do you
I
think
mean,
about
here you
the
have,
4-year
Doc.
cycle? And
Here you have Doc speaking the truth. Falcon just got hard talking about Bitcoin futures, and that's true. Who doesn't, right? And again, look,
yeah,
before we get into that, let me answer Profit Pursuit question. He said, "Does Rita have a new team?" Yes, that is very true. We did come in and we took over, and yes, this is gonna get listings very, very soon. I mean, this is already in action, by the way, the listings and everything. Um, if this hasn't been said before, but I am a Mexi affiliate on a level on a T1 basis. So that means that we do have very streamlined way of getting a listing on Mexi and other exchanges, right? So that's just to answer a Profit Pursuits question. And again, look, to answer
nice.
your question, this cycle isn't a cycle, really. There's
Wow,
no such thing as cycle anymore. What is a cycle? A
wow.
cycle means that it's a circle, right? Where it starts and then it goes somewhere and then it goes back to where it was. That's a cycle, right? But what we have right now is a trend. And this trend isn't seasonal. It is pretty much a lifetime of a trend because Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana and XRP and whatever Cardano, what you can call it what you want to call it, but let's just stick to the word crypto, right? The way we're heading right now is towards a path where guys like me and you and everyone can have access to new financial instruments, and that does include meme coins. People call them meme coins, but they never really question why are they called meme coins. They've never really questioned what does a meme coin even mean. Is it really a crypto coin? Is it really just crypto? Is it just a meme coin? Is something where there is a visual identity connected to a very technical data set, but that visual identity is representing a very large community, right?
Hmm.
I mean, name me one person who's ever said what I just said right now. Nobody, because nobody really cares about doing the due diligence of explaining this stuff, right?
Right.
You can go ahead and really think about this for a second, but when you really break down what a meme coin is, there's a lot of good coins. But a meme coin is a visual identity connected to a data set on the blockchain that is easily accessible to everyone, no matter your age, no matter your race, no matter your color, no matter whatever it is, you have access to this and you can get in for $1 or 100 or 1,000 or 1,000,000 or whatever. There is no government to tell you, hey, bro, look, you cannot buy RITA. There is no regulation that tells you, no, the law says you cannot buy this. You can buy this. You can do whatever you want. It's called accessibility in meme coins. That's the focus here,
Mhm.
And I always emphasize the part about, yes, value me because when I come in and talk about this stuff, I'm not here asking you for money. I'm asking you, do you love to make money or not? I mean, fuck whatever everyone thinks. They might say, "Oh yeah, bro, but you've had some I don't know what contradictions, whatever, whatever, whatever." Well, fuck that shit. The entire system is running on contradictions at this point. And when you have something like Rita, when you have something like other coins, and I'm by no means am I saying Rita is the only good coin. There's a lot of good coins out there, you know. But when people want to hear a voice to an identity, they really want to connect to it. They don't want to resent themselves connecting to it, And that's why I always emphasize the point of do your own research. And
Yeah,
if you need
bro. Do
help doing
your
that
own
research,
research, dude. Do your own yeah, I mean that's yes. So sorry, continue. Like sorry,
yeah, man,
yeah.
look, I mean,
I
the
talk
only
about that
point that I'm
all the time.
the question that I really want to answer here is that where are we going in this cycle, you know? And again, there's no cycle. There's from here on out, it's all different, you know? When the banks are buying Bitcoin, when the banks are buying Solana, when you see ETFs for ETH every fucking month, when you have the poly market betting on inflation rates decreasing because people really want that, you know? They look at Jerome Powell as the evil guy behind why crypto is not pumping just yet. I mean, can you just open up trading view and zoom out on ETH? And then you're gonna
Yeah,
say,
seriously.
where have we not pumped? 3 months ago, we were at 1.8 thousand, 1800 on ETH.
Seriously, it's like weren't we at 1700 like literally like a month ago? Like we're at 1700. I remember this cuz I've been in Baja for 3 months, and I'll be leaving here in like a week. And when I got here, so that was 3 months ago. When I May, it was end of May. I believe I'm going to look it up right now. I believe ETH was at like 1700, and like nobody cared, and everyone actually the biggest. It was being fudded real hard. You remember, like in that, and it's just now turning around. But you remember back like shit, I'm looking right now. Yeah, so April and then May. So yeah, May 5th is when ETH was at 1659. It jumps up to 17, hangs around 17, 1800 bucks. Wow. Yeah, hold on. It's been 17, 1800 bucks from May through to July 6th, July 6th.
Yeah.
Um,
What does that show you?
so
It's a 3x, you know? It's a
yeah,
2.5x, it's whatever. But again, you know, people are saying here, how high do you see RITA going by the end of this year? How high do you really want it to go when you look at it this way? I mean, what is high for you? 1 million? 2, 3, 4, 10, 100? It's gonna go as high as possible, as much as the community interacts with it, you know?
yeah,
This is not a commodity. It's pretty much limited supply. You cannot make more of it. It's the same way as Bitcoin works. It's just cheaper and it has an identity and it has a community, right? And look, again, I really love saying this countless times. Do your own research and check it out on many different levels here, right? And I don't want to make this too long, but really, when I'm looking at the chart right now, I can see people already buying and making transactions and getting in, people joining the Telegram every day and talking and talking and talking. You genuinely have to just look at your own self in this. You know, when we push coins, we're really not doing something black magic, right? We have connections, we have access, we have whatever. You don't need to do any of the stuff that we do as a buyer. You just have to
yeah,
buy and hold. Let us do the hard work. Let us do the grunt work because that's what we do. That's what we have been positioned to do in this
yeah.
market.
Just buy
You know,
and
people have a
shut your ass
purpose.
up. No, I was joking. Yeah, but no, but yeah, absolutely. But bro, like, so you're saying so you agree? Back to my question, like, you agree that Arthur Hayes is right. Like the cycle is dead. The 4 year crypto cycle is dead. We no longer need to mark cycles based on the Bitcoin halving, and 18 months past the halving is altcoin season, which would make it October. October, by the way, in that respect, would be the start of altcoin season because the last two cycles have performed in that way, right? You're saying that we're not gonna be going through that. We're actually going to be going through What exactly? Like, what do you see? What do you think is going to happen this fall? What's the market climate for a coin like Rita to be in terms? You know what I mean? Like, what do you see happening?
Yeah, look, so to put it in perspective, what we can see from today is two things. Number one, demand. Number two is economics, right? And we can always see two things here contradict each other. The economy, people say, oh, yeah, it's not good, inflation, blah, 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 whatever. That is true. And while that is very true, altcoin season is no longer a thing. It's no longer where you have to wait for altcoin season. What is altcoin season after all? Is it just pumping? Is that what this means? I mean, we have seen people on TikTok saying USDT is going to go to $5. Does that mean alt season? Is that what alt season is? Alt season is not a thing anymore as much as it is now just crypto over fiat. That's what the people are focusing on. It's crypto time, it's meme coin time. People have missed out so much on the many runs of crypto. And the one time where I really hate saying this, but this is the only time where if you are still broke, then it's up to you, really. It's your fault. 100%.
Right? 100%. If you're broke, it's your fault. Like 100%. Like it's never been that way in history, right? It's never been more apparent that if you're broke and you're in the and and a lot of my subscribers, agree with us when we say like, bro, like to tap it to be into this old system where you just kind of go to work and you just kind of just drudge around, and not really be forward thinking. You got to be forward thinking, and you have to tap into some new things and learn new things because our society is predicated on being dumb and not learning anything, and just going along with the flow, right? And
Right.
so, and that's what I'm saying with this with Rita is that listen, it's not just a meme coin; it's an AI agent, and if you can't understand that, you're going to be scared to buy, right? But the people that do understand that and DCA in or ape in, even, they're going to reap the rewards of what's to come in this market when SPX is running and Rita's running along with it. And, you can make generational gains right there off of one decision to not go along with the flow of just, regular society, right? And sorry to cut you off, but I mean that's I couldn't agree with you more. I couldn't agree with you more. I really couldn't agree with you more.
Right.
Um,
And look, there's a very good point, and people really forget about this stuff so much, which is um, a lot of nations still have yet to acquire crypto as a norm. Where I'm from Saudi Arabia, by the way, and it might not sound like it because I've heard this countless times because I don't sound like someone who's from there, but my nation and my country has yet to acquire any crypto. And when you look at it this way, we are one of the richest nations in the world. We are the nation of oil. And as they say, oil drives the markets. And when you put it this way, you're like, holy shit, if USA and El Salvador and Europe are just buying these amounts, imagine how much the nations who are owning gold reserves and oil reserves and gas reserves are going to buy in, you know, then you feel like the 10,000 bucks you have saved up that you want to put in Bitcoin are only going to make like 2 3x. But when you put like 10% of that money into meme coins and specifically Rita, you're like, holy shit, I just 10x my money instead of really just 2xing it, right? The impact that you make is not about how much you can contribute to the markets, but rather how much can you contribute to your own portfolio. In my portfolio today, I look at it. What do I see? I see a bunch of stuff, a bunch of trash, blah blah blah, whatever. But what I really like to see is I love seeing coins like Rita. You know, I have look in my portfolio right now. I have three coins on ETH that I'm very convicted on, and one of these coins is Rita, right? And why do I not want to mention the other three coins? Is because today is all about Rita. You know, we can keep the others for another day, but we really have to work as a community, as friends, as people who want to represent Rita, because one day when you are a really big holder of Rita, you're gonna come on stage and gonna represent and you're gonna fucking earn your position. You're gonna deserve it because you have been here from the start. You know, I have worked with so many people in Project 89 where they were just normal holders who bought 1% at 100K. And then they became millionaires and they wanted to be like, that is what I want to do for the rest of my life. They made a Twitter, started talking about the project. That's what everyone should do. You know, you should really focus on making, make it
Right.
work for you and for everyone else who is also wanting to make it work. This isn't PvP, by the way. This isn't, if in this coin, there's no PvP. There's nothing competing with us. We're not competing with each other. What we're doing here is something called PPP, you know? Push player push. We have to push
Mm,
each other up. That's the
right.
method that this should work on. That's the bias. Let's use the word bias here for a second. What does bias mean? It means your own perception of things that nothing can change. You've set this opinion. You're opinionated on one certain thing. That's your bias. Great. So, how about you own up to that bias and you work on it? Because then down the line, you're going to see, like, oh shit, yeah, I was right. And when you're right a lot of times, people are going to use you as an example on where we are heading and what's next.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you talk about player. Say that again. It was
Push player
PPP.
push.
Push player push. And I think of it's funny you said that. I think of the wallet distribution of Rita, and there's another reason why I bought is that no one owns more than like a couple percent. Like this thing cannot be rugged. It cannot be sent down. You know what I mean? And as it's as it that's why the chart looks so incredible right now is because all the old wallets have cleared out. All the original people that started this coin and they rugged it inside like a day. They're all gone. They sold off. Like everybody from that era of this coin, Arita, have sold off, and like all the coins are out there, and it's a really amazing like distribution. Tell us how you feel about that. I mean, did that attract you to taking this thing over? Was the wallet distribution and everything like that?
Yeah, man, look, so that is something very technical, by the way, when we talk about wallets and stuff.
Hmm, sure.
Let's just put it this way, you know, when you are going to a basketball game, you see a stadium where everyone has the same size of seats, you know. Nobody has like a couch in the middle of the fucking stadium just sitting around,
Right.
taking up a
Right.
lot of
Right.
space, right?
Yeah.
We're going to
Yeah.
the fucking, I don't know, like Lakers versus Dallas game, whatever. You see that everyone has the same seat, but they're on different teams and they are voting for different players and everyone has a different opinion. But what do they all have in common? A love to the sport,
Yeah.
right?
No,
Same
absolutely.
thing
Yeah. No,
here.
absolutely. Yeah. Same thing.
You just really have to educate people on this matter, right? You have to really put it this way because if fuck me, man, if I go to a basketball stadium and I see someone have a fucking bus in a stadium and then a couch and then like that just doesn't look good to me. That doesn't look right. That doesn't look fair. You know, I don't want that shit, man. I don't want to fucking sit on a bucket when someone's sitting on a couch. Like, that's just bullshit to me, you know? But what we see here is that everyone is equal. Everyone is really not greedy, where they just want their own benefit. They want to fuck everyone else. They just want to fuck over everyone else for their own benefit. I mean, dude, is this really what we have here going on? Like, is this really what crypto is about today? It's not.
Yeah.
if I wanted to play dirty, I would have played dirty a long time ago. I wouldn't have bothered coming on AMAs. I wouldn't have bothered having a Twitter account. I would have just launched on Pump Fun every day, 5, 6, 7 times, made like 3, 4, 5K bucks, and just call it a day. But that's no longevity. Like, I mean, Doc, come on, bro. I know sports. Doc is fucking trolling me here right now.
Yeah, he's so funny, dude. I'm sorry. This guy is
Man, he's been.
hilarious, man.
The thing is, he knows I know sports. That's the thing.
Yeah, dude. So what's your favorite sport, man? I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, man. So since I'm from the Arab world, obviously it's
Yeah.
football. Well, in your language, it's soccer. So soccer is my
Right,
number
right.
one thing,
Nice.
man.
Nice. So like Al Halal, right? Is
Yeah, bro. Exactly.
that's a
That's the
team,
league that
bro,
we're
yeah.
in.
Yes. So Mares plays for you guys, right?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that
yeah.
Mahrez?
Exactly, bro.
Yeah, but yeah, Ryan Mahrez. He was on Man City for a long time. Absolute legend. You guys got all kinds of players out there. You guys got Ivan Tony.
Yeah, dude. The funny part is, I'm gonna be in Saudi, and I'm going back from Dubai to Saudi in 2 days. And I don't want to announce this, but I'm gonna have a picture of Rita flag next to the big pole of the Saudi flag in the capital, right? So that's going to be like
Wow,
kind of a cross country collaboration to show that Rita is a global thing. It's not just a nationwide
wow,
thing. So yeah, again, man,
wow.
that's like, bro, when we talk about this stuff, it really puts into perspective where we are going and what lengths we really want to go to. Sir, when you are in Mexico, when you are in Argentina, when you are in whatever, if you have a small sticker of Rita with you, you pull it up, you take a picture of it, and then the Argentina flag is showing behind you. That shows people that holy shit, if someone from Argentina knows about this, someone from
We
Saudi
out
knows
of
about
here.
this, someone from
Yeah,
USA knows about this, someone from Brazil knows about this, from
yeah.
Spain, Germany, Netherlands, Belgium, Norway, Sweden, Morocco, Kenya. Like, dude, that is a lot of language being spoken. You know, like the linguistic barrier is gone. It's just gone. It's out of the way. You know, people hit my phone up, they call me, they say, "Hey man, where you at right now?" I say, "Yeah,
Seriously.
bro, I'm traveling around." They say, "Okay, so I just bought some of this. What do you think?" I open up my phone, I look at the chart, I open up with the Twitter. There's no voice to it. There's no name. There's no community, right? You see SPX all the time. The members are posting in Bali, in Sweden, in Spain, in Morocco, in US, in Cali, in Vegas, in Ohio. Like that is that is really what drives up the chart, man. Like as someone again who's coming from a nation where we have a fuck ton of money, but people are just not involved in crypto as much, it really gives me perspective on like you're living in between countries, and people in the US, a lot of them know about crypto, right? People in where I'm from, they know about crypto, but they haven't bought yet, you know? Like the people that I know and my country and where I'm from, the average entry for, let's just say, for Bitcoin is gonna be like 100K for them,
Mm,
right? And they're gonna
yeah.
still be saying this is gonna 10x, and then you're like,
And
holy shit, wow.
may I ask where are you in Saudi? You said you're in Saudi Arabia right now. Am I can you don't have to
No, I'm
tell us.
right now. I live in Dubai full time because of my business over there. I work in
Wow.
accounting and taxes. I own a tax firm. Um,
Wow.
and I live in between both countries, right? UAE and Saudi. I'm ethnically Saudi, like that's where I'm from. That's where I was born and raised and everything. Um, and I was raised by surrounded by a lot of Americans, by the way. So that's why I kind of have the same way of speaking as them, right?
Yeah.
I was raised by like in a very westernized part of the country back then, and that really enabled me to go into crypto early on. And
Yeah, because
that
it
should
sounds like
also.
it's sorry. It sounds like you're from like because I'm from South Jersey, and North Jersey has a very vibrant like Saudi community in North Jersey and in New York. And bro, you sound like you're from New York. You sound like you're from like North Jersey. I would have thought you were from North Jersey. So that's
Yeah, man.
like
Look, nobody even believes me when I say, yeah, I'm from Saudi because of the way I talk. I mean, it's
right. Yeah,
fucking like it's like some
it's
crazy
crazy. Yeah,
shenanigans, bro.
It sounds like yeah. It's like English is your first language. Like
It is. You know, the funny part
I know
is
it's
that it is kind of my first language
oh
because again, I
yeah
kind of grew up with like Americans and stuff, and like I grew up in an American high school, right? So I do
right.
speak Arabic fluently, of course. It's like it's my native language, but when you put it this way, you know, Stair,
Beautiful
I love
language.
putting things in perspective. That's
Hmm.
the communication barrier that we have not explored yet in 90% of the world, you know. When crypto is mainly an English speaking space, right? You're like, "Oh yeah, this is mainly Americans," right? All right, how about you go and open up Ton and then you see over there it's all Russians over there, right? And then you open up
Yes. Yeah. It's
like
Russian.
different fucking chains and then you see people from all over the country and all over like the world just talking and communicating different languages and you see what they all have in common. They all are in the blockchain. You know, they're all transacting on the internet. They're all opening up their phones on TG with the same goal. You know, you don't see wars on crypto. You don't see racist. Like, I'm sorry, but I have never encountered a racist occurrence once in crypto. Like, people don't
Right.
give
I
a fuck
mean,
about that shit.
yeah, honestly, I see like people. I mean, it's not even like a racist thing, but it's like people use like all kinds of profanity, whether it be like racial or like misogynistic, whatever it is. People don't give a shit.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
Yeah. I walk into rooms where it's like the like just like little white guys are saying the N word all day long. I don't care. Like you know what I mean? Like I can say
Right.
hey,
It's not that
like
deep
I can
over there,
say
you know?
yeah, I can say fuck whitey, and they're like yeah, whatever. Like it doesn't
Yeah, whatever.
matter.
Okay, let's make
Like
some money
it
now. You know,
doesn't
that's how
matter.
they
Let's make
are.
some money. And I think that's the beauty of crypto, man. It's really all about like just feeding our families and just pushing our legacies and you know what I mean? It's just like it doesn't freaking matter. Like that's why I believe that like all the racial tensions and all the things that we see in the world that are bad are all manufactured by the mainstream media and the elites behind our governments and things like that. I don't think you guys have that issue in Saudi Arabia. You guys seem to be very maybe I'm wrong, but I know you don't speak against any crown prince or anything. I don't want you to get you killed or anything. But like like you know what I mean? But it's just like it's like it's like American government. There's like definitely somebody. There's like a group of people running the government that we don't even know who they are, and they use racial tensions. They use
Right, it's an agenda, of
it's
course.
an agenda, and then when you go into a telegram, you go into all these things like, and you're just talking to people, and it's like people are just like saying whatever, and it really doesn't bother anybody. Nobody cares, you know what I mean? But they're telling us that it's supposed to matter. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's just like
Absolutely, man. Absolutely,
as long as
bro.
you're respecting people, as long as you're not punching people in the face, like who cares? Like we're all here to make money, like, and it's like so that's just interesting that you said that. So good, good.
Yeah, man. Look, also a bigger thing is that, you know, with money, and that's a big, big topic. You have like to be 18 years old to get a bank account, and then you gotta like watch your back on how much you deposit and whatever, and blah blah blah. I
Yeah,
mean, shit, dude. Let's come on and think about this for a second here. If you are not really someone like where I'm from, we don't have what you have in the US. We don't have income tax. We don't have state tax. We don't have real estate tax. We don't got this shit, you know. I mean, I pay 2% tax on everything, right? Like
that's
that my
crazy.
total everything out of everything I make, I pay 2%. In Saudi I pay 0%, right?
Wow,
So like in crypto, you know, you
that's
have
incredible.
been
By the way,
exposed. Yeah, that's crazy by the way. Yeah, I know. I
yeah,
agree.
you don't get that in America. I mean. Yeah, bro. Everything is taxed. Everything, and in fact, like Trump is announcing, oh, everyone that makes 150K and under is not going to pay any taxes. And it's just like, but bro, yeah, but other people are going to pay those taxes. The people above 150 are going to pay the taxes that they're supposed to be paying. Below,
Right,
it's just
right,
it's
man,
just a
exactly.
mess, man. And that's crazy
I
that you're
mean,
a tax expert because you can see how effed up America is in other countries. And so, so you're saying in
right.
Saudi, like where you are, they don't even need to tax the people because they're already like mega oil rich, right? So that's what
I
you're
mean,
saying,
yeah,
right?
bro. And besides that, the bigger picture here is that because when you have a government, a country that cares about the people, we get free healthcare, we get free education. If I want to, as if I'm like a uni student, university student, if I want to say, oh yeah, I want to study in America, the government is gonna pay for my tuition and housing and food and expenses to send me abroad. You know, and
Wow.
and the bigger part of this that people what don't get is that they and what everyone is doing wrong is that they are focusing too much on making a change in the world, blah blah blah, whatever. Bro, you are nobody to decide this. You are nobody
Hmm.
to decide whether you're gonna change the American government or not. Whether you, how about you just focus on your own self, because this is a time in the world in this decade where every man is on his own, to each his own,
Right.
but on crypto you see groups, right? They're like in different groups and in different circles and in different connections and in different resources, and but at the end of the day these groups might unite with the same goal of making money, with the same goal of escaping the race of taxes and politics and BS and blah blah blah, whatever. Nobody wants that shit. It's a headache, right? It's a very big headache. That's why here when I say, what do we want? What do we want? What do we want? What do I want? What do I as stayer want today? A community, growth, follow, leadership, likes, attention, money, everything. That's what everyone wants. You can have so much profanity in the world. You can have so much racism. You can have whatever. And then you go to the U.S. You're like, in the streets you have someone knocked the fuck out from drugs, and then you have someone in the other street living in a multi-million dollar mansion. Is that really fair? That's not really fair, man. That's not really fair.
No, it's not.
Like,
Yeah, in America,
where I
yeah, it's
haven't
really bad.
seen a single homeless person where I've lived in Dubai, where I've lived in Saudi. I haven't seen that shit. I haven't
That's
seen a
crazy.
single person shoot a gun. That never happened. I've never seen someone take drugs in the street. You might find a plug here and there and use it at home, but people say, "Oh yeah, sure, the law is strict." I mean, fuck, dude. The law is strict, yeah, but look at us. Open up the safety index. Our cities are taking up 50% of the list.
I know. That's crazy, right? I mean, that's nuts because yeah, I've noticed that Dubai and just Saudi Arabia in general is so safe, and there's like no homeless. I plan on going out there. I guess it looks like Muscles is in the chat. Shout out Muscles. He's planning on coming to see you and hanging out with you in Dubai, and I'm going to come too. And so I guess Doc and everyone, we're all just going to come out there because I got my passport, and yeah, man, it's just it's crazy how the propaganda, Falcon, is insane because I grew up being told that Saudi Arabia like is just or like just that whole region is just it's war torn. You don't ever want to go there. I mean everything looks like Gaza. You know what I mean? Like and it's just not
Yeah,
true. It's
bro. I
just
mean, that's
not
it.
true. And when America looks like Gaza, you know what I mean? America looks like that's why Falcon. I'm in Baja. Is that I sold my ranch in Southern California in a beautiful place. I mean, I'm telling you, like I lived on top of a mountain, where I can drive down 20 minutes down the road and be in like it could be snowing where my house is. I can drive 20 minutes down the road and it's 75 degrees down in Palm Springs, and like like it's one of the most beautiful places in the entire world. I sold my ranch because it was just the taxes, the homelessness. Not that there was homeless. Actually, there was homelessness even in the local town up in the mountain, on the mountain. There was a town called Idlewild, and the homeless like people were starting to pile up there, and like there's like gangs. There's like even just gangs up there. I'm like, we're like, this is crazy. Like, I can't believe this is happening. And it wasn't like that even like 10 years ago. And so we're here and we're going to South America. Excuse me, South America to find a better place to build our ranch, because we couldn't even sell our beef and our pork without the government like heavily taxing us or allowing us to sell meat and then come around later and say we didn't do it right and that we had to pay all these fines. And I watched a lot of my friends like get like really hit with heavy fines for selling meat locally. And I said, you know what? And I have 6 children. I have 4 boys, 2 girls, and they all grew up on my farm, and they're all farmers, and they've run the ranch like I mean they ran that ranch, and they were like, Papa, man, like we can't even sell like a whole pig to somebody without looking over our shoulders. You know what I mean? They said, Where can we go where we can be, treated like farmers, like royalty, and like we can actually sell our pigs to local markets and supermarkets and things like that." And we were like, "Hey,
Exactly.
South America, then Chile and Argentina, they treat their farmers like royalty, and that we can actually sell like directly to local markets and restaurants. And these kids are just going to have like, and they're into crypto too. They see they listen in on VCs that I'm in on Telegram, and we look at charts and they understand what's going on, and they're getting their own laptops soon and everything. And it's just crazy that I never thought growing up that I would have to leave my home country in order to give my children a chance. You know what I mean? I never,
Right,
I
man. I
never
mean,
thought, like, you know what I mean? Like, I never thought that in a million years. With all the race tensions and the disparities and class in America, it was just too much, man.
absolutely, bro. I mean, man, look, you've got kids, and again, why do you pay taxes, right? You pay taxes expecting better roads, better healthcare, better life, better education, whatever, blah blah blah, whatever. And the next thing you know, these taxes are going for war and supporting and enabling evil governments and war and stuff and killing of people. So like it's pretty much where we are, you don't hear about us that, hey man, shit, have you heard that this government in the Gulf region is funding a war? They're funding whatever. I mean, you don't hear that shit. Even on the media, even you don't even get propaganda about that stuff. You know,
Yeah.
But in the US, all I ever hear, and it upsets me because I've been to the US, by the way. I've been countless times I've been to LA, I've been to New York, I've been to Alaska, I've been to Florida, I've been to Miami. I've went to the US, I've explored a very big part of it. I went to Arizona as well. Very
Oh,
great
cool.
area over there.
Nice.
So I've went and explored the US, and I have
Well,
really seen how upsetting it is to see the people, suffer because the country is really focused more on funding wars. I mean, Jeffrey
yeah.
is saying Saudi isn't war torn, it's run, but it's run by a Jewish monarchy. That's why politically they tend to be pro-Israel. I mean, if if a country like Saudi was pro-Israel, do you really think it would be where it's at right now? I mean,
Mm,
in the US, you don't see Trump not mentioning Israeli government wants. I mean, why don't you just mention education, right? Why can't we like focus on farmers? You know, why can't we focus on giving people a better life? Is it too hard to give people the privilege of living right? Is it hard that a middle class boy who's growing up, he want to make money in crypto, but he cannot make money in crypto because he's limited to access? Is it too much to ask for? Is this what the world has become there? I mean, can we not really all be in one place, united by love and prosperity and just
Yeah.
affection towards one another? Do we
Hmm.
really have to separate each other by beliefs? I mean, okay, my beliefs are is that I want to make money so I can travel around, so I can buy nice cars, so I can wear nice clothes. That's my belief. And I can bet you that if people just for once turn around, they're going to have the same belief and they would forget about everything else in the world that is really limiting them to do what they want to do. Sarah, I mean, Sarah, you've got kids, you know, you've got kids, man. All you want to do is feed them, nurture them, watch them grow up, grow with them, see your wife be happy. That's what it is. And on the
Hmm.
side, and like the way you do it, the way that you find happiness as well is crypto, is YouTube, is community, is blah blah blah, whatever. That's where I think the main question for how do you see the cycle happening? This is also a mental cycle that's going to happen. this is
Right.
this is
Yes. Yes.
also a
A mental
change
cycle.
of exactly. This is also a change of psychological positioning in the people.
Hmm. Yeah,
People
because
are
people are
now
tired of
finally
it.
waking up
Yep.
and seeing what this really is about. People
Yep.
are finally waking up. Somebody woke up today in the US and they thought, I'm tired of this BS. I'm tired of worrying about war and separation and profanity and whatever. I'm tired of being judged if I say the N word. I'm tired if from whatever. I mean, where do we unite at the end of the day? On somewhere that's decentralized. The blockchain has proved to us that you don't need police to connect. You don't need law to connect. You don't need colors to connect. You don't need 99% of people on the blockchain have no idea what the person on the other side of the screen looks like, you know? But if that was in person, if the blockchain, just think of it for a second, if the blockchain was in person only, right? And then you see someone like disabled as fuck, and like you have this sort of judgment inside of you where, like, oh yeah, I don't want to work with this person because he's disabled, right? On the blockchain, you might be talking to a tier 1 KOL, and then that tier 1 KOL is in a wheelchair who looks like someone who just got exposed to Chernobyl. But you don't fucking give a fuck because you can't see that because you're really focused on the same goal, which is making money. That's what I think the cycle is heading. It's heading towards people wake up. People are finally drifting away from the hard reality, the hard life, the hard the hardship, You can be whoever you want on the internet. And on the blockchain, you can be practically anything you want. You can be a dev, you can be a mod, you can be a speaker, you can be fucking anything. And that brings us back to the point of RITA, You can hide your face all you want, but print out a picture of Rita on your printer, cut it out, and take a picture of Rita in the place you are. Show the people that you exist. You're not just a TXN on the blockchain, man. That's where we should be heading. And that's why this is a mission. That's why Rita is also a mission here. Because it's really about connecting with others through a character on the blockchain behind a data set with just a character, it's just a visual identity.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy, and that's why I love coins so much, is because it's like also like it's branding. It's like it really matters what label is wrapped around that soda can, or that, you know what I mean? It's like you really can build brands that are meaningful in meme coins, especially on ETH. I think I'm just a big fan of ETH, um, and how it's so much more solid than other chains, in my opinion. Especially the meme coins on ETH. And I'm finding a lot of success getting behind strong brands, you know, um, and the teams that are behind them that make the brand so strong. Now, I want to ask you a question. What does what for? By the way, guys, before I ask this question, this has been incredible. Like we're just hanging out with Falcon, the lead of the CTO of RITA, and which is the meme coin in the SPX 6900 meta, and also it's an AI agent being rebuilt on PAL right now, PAAL, and that should be all complete here in the coming days. So it's actually working a working AI agent, and we're here at Falcon. We're talking about his outlook on the markets, and the outlook on life in general. The just the complete social construct of the whole world. This guy is super super bright, and he's only 22 years old, guys. I mean, this guy has accomplished more in his life than what most will ever accomplish in their lives, and we're definitely we're happy to have him. And what I wanted to ask him, before that, yeah, guys, the smash the likes and also subscribe to this channel, as we have more interviews like this, and more videos, and live streams like this. And and Falcon, I wanted to ask you this, and I know, I think we'll be on here for another like 20 minutes, 30 minutes there. Uh, what? So we were talking about brands, and you know, what does Rita? What do you see that Rita represents brand wise? Like when in like a month or two, as this coin grows in market cap, as it grows in holders, as it grows in exposure, what will investors, like, when they look at Rita, what do you think they're going to see?
Right. So let's focus on the perspective of someone who is not really involved in hearing what Rita is about, right? Let's just think about someone who opened Deck Screener. They saw number one trending coin, Rita, right? What do they see? They see something representing a character, and in the next month or so, right, Sayer, put it this way: put yourself in someone's shoes who has no idea of the stream, of what I'm saying, of whatever we are, or of whatever we represent. You know, people are emotional, man. People run on emotions, right? I mean, there's a contradiction here between emotional trading and real fundamental and technical trading, right? People open up the chart, they see support, nice all-time high, I'm gonna buy in now. You know, that's a driver. People on this stream,
I might have lost you there for a second. We're as he's coming back. We're live with Falcon, the lead of the CTO Rita, that is right now approaching a new high for this CTO at this moment. Go ahead, Falcon.
right? Yeah, man. So there's two drivers, right? There's the technical driver, which is the chart, and then there's the real story behind it. We have a lot of things happening, man. We have so much going on. We have so many people coming in. We have some of the biggest names. I mean, Stair, I don't know if I have the liberty to say this, but you have had
Sure,
the
yeah, go
privilege,
ahead.
I think, to meet Cupsy, one of the biggest
Right.
names in the space. And he's been here on the stream, and he spoke to you, and he spoke to a lot of guys in the space. And I've also been in his groups before, and we have that's what this is about. That's what this should be about. When one day, EB is saying, Murad, have you ever met him? We haven't met him, but we've spoken before. How? On SPX. And this is going to be a new story where you meet people like us, people like you, people like everyone, where you never know what this person is like. That person might be worth 9 figures with no profile picture, no username, random ass fucking texts. Next thing you know, he's bidding the chart. Next thing you know, he's bringing his other friends in. Next thing you know, man, this is a product. It's a it's a product of growth. It's representing a new era in where we should shift our attention to. You know,
Mm-hmm.
where are we today? We are at 600K market cap. We have goals. We have deliverables. We are not just talking, we are walking the talk every fucking day. And that is what's going to happen for the next eternity of the project. You know, when you are in a place where you bought RITA at 600K, you post a picture on Twitter. I bought this. Oh, I just saw this old picture on my phone, like everyone SPX did. What happens next? Attention flows to them. You could be a winner on not just money. You can grow as a person, as a brand, as a personal brand online, as someone who bought this coin and hit it 1000x. Now you are a figure in the space, sir, like you, like us. We call stuff early on, people then listen to us. And then we are responsible for those people. We are in touch with them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we are heading today. That's the foundational that's the foundation of this core visual identity of this coin. It's not just a data set on the blockchain. It is way deeper than that.
Wow. Yeah, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a crazy, you know, like quarter. What are we in the third? We're approaching the third quarter, or we're in the third quarter right now. The last few quarters of this year are going to be insane. I really do. I really think. I think it's going to be quite volatile. The next few weeks are going to be quite volatile. And man, I mean, I just see Rita really, really doing well. I really do, and it's like I think folks that are holding right now, Rita, are pleased to hear you speak and pleased to get this type of access, and to your mind, and your thoughts on the market and on, where you plan on taking Rita. And, that's incredible, and I can't, I'm just kind of floored to like see where my channel has gone, just to be kind of have a selfish thought here is that wow. I mean, I've had this channel for 8 months, and my community is grown. So you got 1,700 subscribers, and no bots, by the way. I mean, I feel like out of 1,700, I think they're all actively in crypto. I'm telling you, like between the comments, the chat, the my Telegram groups. I mean, it's just crazy how many folks are active in this market, actively investing, and to be able to have you on and have you share your thoughts on the market, on the world, and most importantly, in the stage Rita, has it's just amazing. And guys, I mean, you know, go get yourself a bag of Rita because it's super, super early. I mean, to get even a few $100 worth of Rita right now and to be able to hold it into the cycle. I mean, It's at a, like you said, it's at a Falcon said it's at a 600K market cap. I mean, this thing's gonna freaking fly. I do think the nine figures is in the cards for this coin's market cap by bull run's end. I mean, so closely attached to SPX 6900 that is probably going to 10x from where it's at 1.5 billion. And just to have a small percentage of that run alongside SPX, I mean, the sky's the limit, and it brings, but at the same time, it brings so much value to the space. And man, I mean, so I mean, I don't want to have to. I'm not going to ask you about price predictions because I know that really doesn't matter to you. It's all about building community, and having the drive to bring this brand. And it's an AI agent, it's actual working AI agent, to the forefront. And we're okay. So Falcon, where is Falcon going to be? Like this fall. Like, where do you see this market being? This fall is you said there's no such thing as a cycle anymore, which is a profound thing to say, because all we are is we're being wrapped up in tracking cycles and trying to time our investments relative to where the cycle where we're at in the cycle and stuff. But you said we shouldn't even think it like that anymore, and that's incredible to say. So um I want to know, you know, prediction for I can't even use the word cycle, right? Because you're like, there is no such thing. Um, by by December 31st, where is this market going to be? Are we in terms of not even price, but psychologically? Do you think that there's going to be more people here, less people here? Or what type of projects are going to come to the forefront? And then we can wrap the stream up because I really want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, man. Look, that's a great question to wrap this up. Um, I can put it in one way, Stair, and I this might not really be the answer that you're looking for or the answer that you might expect. It might come as a
Yeah.
surprise, actually. But uh, the funny part about all of this is that where we are gonna be, or where I'm gonna be, or where you are gonna be in the next, let's just call it in this end of the year, right? Is really unknown because we keep seeing a large influx of people come in this space, you know? I mean, there hasn't been a day where I have seen crypto not grow. I haven't seen a day where there aren't more people coming in. I haven't seen a day where people are just not signing up on TG, downloading Phantom, downloading Dex, and thinking they are the next big trader. And that's very nice to see. Ambition is what drives the markets. That's why we have something called the Fear and Greed Index. That exists for a reason because there is also the emotional part of things. Without humans, we're never gonna be able to unlock the next phase of crypto, right? We need them. We need those humans to keep coming in. People are just reproducing always every day. There are new kids being born. Those kids are going to be one day exposed to crypto. That those are going to be exposed to whatever. Um, Teens have grew up on pump fun. They've then went on to make it their full time thing. So really, we are gonna always keep growing, man. And the ultimate goal is to all of us grow together at the same pace with love and passion and the right language being spoken together between each other. That's exactly where we should be heading. If we focus less on how we can do it and we focus more on let's do this faster, that's how this is going to grow. And that's really the core fundamental process of evolution. So we are here. We have Rita today. We have Rita tomorrow. We're going to be here. We're going to exist with you all every single day. We're going to have money talks. We're going to have growth. We're going to have sometimes on Twitter spaces. We're going to have whatever. right? It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, let's all show up with the same effort. And even if one day you cannot give 100%, somebody else is going to give 100%. And that's how
Yeah.
this space works. There's always 100%ers out there. When you are burned out, there's someone giving 100%. When they are burned out, somebody else is giving 100%. So that's really
Hmm.
the nice part about all of this.
Right. Right. Yeah, man. It's all about community. It's all about community. Incredible stuff, man. Wow. Dude. Well, dude, thank you so much for being on, man. We
No,
sat here,
thanks
we
for
talked
having me,
for,
bro. It's
we
been
did
a
a
pleasure.
2 hour talk, and guys, I mean, like and subscribe, and get into the Telegram group of RITA and the X page. You can
And the
probably
locker
get in
room.
touch with yep, in the Rocket Room, which is my free group. And then if you really want some, on the minute alerts from me, uh, please go into the inner circle. The inner circle, and guys, amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching this interview of Falcon, the lead of the CTO of RITA, and big things are on the way. Big things are on the way for this coin. And thank you so much for being on with us, Falcon. All right.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for having me, bro. It was great.
Yeah, bro. All right, guys. Hey, I'm gonna get out of here, but I'll be in the Rocket Room tonight. I'll be in the inner circle. Join, hang out, pick up a bag of Rita, and I'll be live every day. I don't think there's gonna be an interview tomorrow, but I'll be live tomorrow. I'll have some videos up tomorrow, and yeah, man, we're gonna pop out of here. But have a great night. Be safe. Thank you so much, Falcon, for having us on, for having
Yeah,
you
man.
on.
Cheers. Cheers, bro. Thank you.
All right, dude. All right,
Awesome.
good night.
Good night.